Welcome to Islamic Life Coach School Podcast. Apply tools that you learn in this podcast and your life will be unrecognizably successful. Now your host, Dr. Kamal Akhtar.
Hello everyone. Peace and blessings be upon all of you. One reason why you're not achieving your goals is because you're not committing to them. Sorry, but not sorry. In today's podcast, I'm going to be giving you guys some tough love. Today, we're going to be talking about the difference between having interest and commitment. Let's first talk about your interests. That could be interest in being a patient parent around your children, stopping smoking, stopping drinking, and yes, Muslims drink alcohol. They know it's a sin, but they engage in it because of various reasons, and that's a topic for another day. But you also might be interested in finding a life partner, getting married, might be interested in learning a new language or having children. So you have interest in getting all of these things done, and you spend a lot of time thinking about all of these. Just because you spend time thinking about something, fantasizing about the time when you reach the finish line, when you create that goal, it does not make it a commitment. Spending a lot of time thinking about an interest, so it feels like a commitment, but it's actually not a commitment. When you know it's a commitment is when you start to work towards it. You dedicate time and energy, and you show it with your actions that you're committed to a task, and you will feel uncomfortable. Thinking constantly about an interest and fantasizing about it actually feels really good. There's a certain dopamine release attached to that. Thinking about how good it will feel when you have accomplished the goal is not commitment. Because before it feels good, it will feel bad. The work towards the goal will feel all sorts of uncomfortable. That's the commitment. Interest also means I want to do many things, but I'm not going to commit to doing all of them all at the same time. For me personally, I'm interested in learning Arabic. I'm interested in clean dishes. I'm also interested in learning new strokes of swimming. I'm interested in coaching Muslim women into their peak mental fitness. I'm interested in practicing medicine. I'm interested in learning Spanish. I'm interested in having thriving indoor plant babies. I'm interested in healthy meals for our family, and I'm interested in a balanced life, a balance between world and spirituality. While I carry all of these interests, I'm only committed to a few, and that's evident by few of my dying indoor plants. I thought I was committed about keeping them alive, but apparently I was only interested. But I am committed to my faith, my career as a physician, and in coaching Muslim women. The difference between my interests and commitments is quite clear by my actions. If you come to me for coaching and you're interested in a bunch of things and not committed to one, coaching will not work. First thing we work on is clarifying what you want to commit to. So then we can direct your energy towards that one thing. Otherwise, you will be wasting energy thinking about interests and you will have no results. Coaching involves gaining clarity about what you want to commit to. Sometimes that commitment feels scary. So in our coaching relationship, we create a safe space around commitment and failing and forgiving yourself for being a human and continuing to go down the checklist of celebrating failures and celebrating successes. We can totally use coaching to gain access to your commitment, but you have to commit to something. Being interested in anything and everything in the world, like learning to ride a motorcycle, or being a professional makeup artist, or becoming a master of tajweed, but committing to one thing through your actions. As we celebrate Eid al-Adha, I am reminded of the commitment of the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. He was commanded to sacrifice his son. Just imagine for a second what level of commitment it required of him alayhi salam. The command came and he acted. That is one level of commitment to Allah. One that we can all strive for. And imagine our states compared to that. Imagine the state when we freak out over a report card of our child. And imagine Ibrahim a.s. with his son on top of a mountain with a knife, with the intention of sacrificing him for the sake of Allah. This story might sound too graphic, whose nervous systems have been shaped to live in the Western culture. To us, it seems unnatural that a human being can even be imagined doing that to a child. But in reality, nothing dangerous actually happened, and this story is what we celebrate to this day. That is the level of true commitment. Committed not just with thoughts and feelings, not with just faith, but also with actions. Imagine the level of commitment that requires of belief in Allah. That is a whole new level of commitment that is required of us about believing in Allah. It is not just interest in believing. It was not just interest in Islam. It was true commitment, observable by actions, and definitely not an easy thing to do. Difference between interest and commitment is actions. Are you committed to losing weight? Are you committed to being patient with your children? Are you committed to making money in the corporate world? Are you committed to showing up as a woman that is on fire? Committed to being a woman who owns every room she enters just because everyone in the room that she is committed, because they can see that in her actions. Remember, others are only able to see your behavior, even if it is nonverbal body language, and others can only judge you on what is observable to them, which is your actions. We as human beings are unaware of the metaphysical of the thoughts and feelings that lie behind the action. The metaphysical of thoughts and feelings is only known to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Collectively, a mistake we make as Muslims is that we judge people's actions and we deem them a lower quality Muslim than us based on their behavior. We are missing such a huge part of the puzzle. We do not have all the information about their internal state of their thoughts and feelings. We do not know about their level of faith, making this type of judgment so harmful to us and others. Everyone is trying to navigate their own difficulties. We are passing judgments based on what we see, which is just the surface. As Muslim women, we could easily avoid judging people on their actions because we can just remind ourselves, I have no knowledge of their internal state. I don't know what they've gone through and what they're going through right now. I don't know what has led them to this behavior. And if I can't physically do anything to support them, I can commit to not judging them. Maybe their thoughts and feelings render them so faithful to their religion that they will outshine us on the day of judgment. And here we are passing judgments on a superficial level, just based on their actions. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the all-knowing, will make judgments based on our circumstances, thoughts, feelings of every moment of our lives. So based on this, and the formula I teach you guys, CTFAR, which is circumstances, thoughts, feelings, actions, and results, commitment shows up in two places. One in your feelings and the other one in your actions. If you're thinking, I want to lose weight, but you're not creating commitment with your actions, and you're not making a list of what healthy foods you're going to be eating, and you're not making a fasting schedule, and you're eating ice cream day in and day out without changing your patterns, you're not showing commitment with your actions. This is where you can feel committed all you want, but you're not committed in your actions. This is where the commitment is only lying in feelings. So the point I'm trying to make here is that no matter how committed you actually feel with your emotions, this will only qualify you as interested in losing weight. And that is not a bad thing, because every commitment starts with interest. But I don't want you to fool yourself. Keep it at the interest level, so at least when you don't lose weight and you don't see the results, you're not beating yourself up. Constantly obsessing over weight loss and creating mental chatter will feel like commitment, but it will not give you any results because you're not taking any actions towards it. So call it an interest and relieve yourself of the torture. You can commit to it when you're ready. If you are committed to making money, you might have thoughts like, with my education, I'm extremely well suited to provide great value to the world, and I can be of service and I can do my job well in exchange of a comfortable lifestyle. You can have all of these thoughts leading you to feel committed to making money. But if your actions are that you get disheartened at the first rejection of the interview and you drop your entire story, these actions are not in alignment with your thoughts. You're just interested in making money. You're not committed to making money. Because a level of commitment will require multiple times not getting callbacks, multiple failed interviews, repeated effort, and all of that is uncomfortable. It is gut-wrenching and it is hard work. Commitment is a whole new level of human capacity. Prophet Ibrahim a.s., father of the Abrahamic religions, took commitment to its highest level. He showed with his actions where his faith lies. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from tests that put our faith in jeopardy. But luckily for most of us, we're facing very non-life-threatening type of commitments. and tests in life like, am I committed to my higher education or spending weekends on outings with my friends? Put your money where your mouth is. That phrase means show me with your actions what you say you're committed to. Because if you don't, I know you're only interested. Which, again, there's nothing wrong with that. Every commitment starts with interest. But don't confuse the two. Don't think that being interested in something is going to get you the result. It's not. Constantly thinking about something is not going to get you the results, even though it feels like commitment. You can be constantly talking to your friends about it. You can have vision boards. You can be creating all the hype you want on social media around your commitment. But doing it with your actions and creating hype are two different things. The difference between interest versus commitment. Interest is just the beginning. Commitment is the path. You can be interested in many things, but you can only be committed to one. Even if at a given time you're committed to doing more than one thing, you can actively do only one thing at a time. If you're learning how to paint, you're showing your commitment towards your artistic side. If you're learning how to be a patient parent with your children and dinner time, you're showing your commitments towards being a better parent. Both of these commitments towards your artistic side and being a better parent, they're going hand in hand, but you cannot execute more than one commitment at the same time. I hope you guys understand the difference. It is not humanly possible to pay active attention to more than one thing at a time. You can actively learn and be committed to only one thing. Passively, you can do more than one thing. Identify all of your interests. Identify which out of those interests carry the most weight so that you can commit to them. The interests you have will always be more than what you want to commit to in a given time. This way, at least you come out of the language of, oh, I want to do so many things, but somehow I never do them. And you will come out of the trap of identifying yourself as somebody who can't commit. If you're committed to health and fitness, then dedicate some time to it. Any time, small or large. Upgrade it from interest to commitment. Do it deliberately. Do it intentionally. Swirling in the interest of a healthy lifestyle without taking even small action steps towards it and telling yourself you're not an athletic person, that is just heedlessness. That is a state of ghafla. What drives me up the wall, drives me absolutely insane, is when people come to me and say that they've been interested in achieving this goal for many years, but they don't think they're the kind of person who can do it. Really? Really? How much have you committed to this interest? How much time have you committed to this interest? And by that, I don't mean just thinking time. I mean how much effort, how much pain, how much blood, sweat, and tears have you committed? How much money have you committed towards this interest? And by this, I don't mean continue to feel bad and spin in your thoughts until you've reached your goal. How much mind management have you committed towards your goal? People that come to me and say that they're committed but they can't see results, but yet are not willing to put effort with mind management, I tell them you're not ready, and that's okay. But please find me when you're ready to commit. The women I coach are extraordinarily wonderful. They are dedicated to their careers, and they're committed to their families, communities, their religion. But then they also have doubts that they're not a good mother because they have a job, or they're not a good citizen because they don't have a job. Be committed to coming out of this feeling horrible all the time, because your brain will tell you something's gone wrong regardless of when you have a job or when you don't. Be committed to directing your brain so that it serves you. Be committed to learning to command your mind into becoming the best mother, the best professional, and the best Muslimah possible, or whatever it is that you want to be. I take a lot of pride in my commitment to coaching Muslim women out of the traps of their mind. I am committed to showing up in this podcast weekly for you. I am committed to provide private coaching and group coaching in my program. I am committed to providing webinars. And all of this might change based on what I think people require for me to do. But I will always show up with commitment in my actions, inshallah. I am committed to providing mental fitness for the Muslim woman. And if you're ready for that level of commitment, sign up for my program. Otherwise, you're welcome to stay interested and keep listening to this podcast. Nothing wrong with that. But call it what it is, an interest. You might feel you want mental health. You will feel committed in your bones. but you are only just feeling it in the body level. When you up-level your commitment to your actions, your whole life will change. Until then, I pray that we can follow the example of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam in showing a fraction of commitment that he did. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we value our interests enough to commit to them. I pray for clarity in my message, and I pray that you don't make it mean to commit means that you have to feel terrible all the time. Feeling terrible towards your commitment means that you're letting your lower brain run your life, rather than your commanding brain, your higher self. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for peak mental fitness for every Muslim woman. Please keep me in your du'as. I will talk to you guys next time. If you're interested in getting coached by me, I'm offering a very affordable opportunity to do that with Wisdom Wednesdays. This is not a course, not a lecture. This is an opportunity for live coaching, real change with Islamic adab and etiquette. You do not need more information. You actually need a space to create change. At $19.99 a month, which is the price of takeout dinner, you as a Muslim woman will create confidence, intimacy, and connection without shame or fear of judgment, because your privacy is my highest priority. So join at www.islamiclifecoachschool.com, resources, Wisdom Wednesdays. I'll see you inside, inshallah.